Bobby, are you on? I can't pronounce it. The
I'm
Ira, whatever I thing, the I whatever that is called.
yeah, I do animal iridology and I teach it.
Iridology.
And so I teach a companion animal iridology course. So people go through my course, learn how to read the irises for their own practice.
Oh,
And then I know it's super cool. We do also horses, and we partner with dissection teams around the world, and we read the irises, make notes. They dissect the horse because it's already scheduled to be euthanized, and we are like 80% accurate.
Wow.
my goodness. Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
That's a,
just a side note, in the Philippines, my what was it my aunt or something went to one, but for humans.
Uh-huh.
And she said, and my sister was telling me about it, and she said it's amazing how she was able to be diagnosed and cured or whatever with
treated.
that type of doctor who looked at the Irish and read everything. I'm like, how could that be? So I've heard about it for people. I just
Yeah,
didn't
so it's
realize
like
there was
a
some for animals.
dashboard warning light on your car is in the animals. The animals are even more fun, you guys, because the animals, you can read the iris before the symptoms rise and then make the changes, and the iris changes. Where in humans, the iris doesn't change that much. But
Huh.
in dogs and cats, you can change it in seconds.
Hmm.
Yeah, to
That's
me, it just
crazy.
screams a divine creator
Yeah, oh,
because I feel
yes.
like God just kind of like intertwined everything and made it a computer monitor for the inside of the body.
Yes.
Well, that's a
Yeah,
great way of looking at it. That
it's
is,
so
Hmm.
cool. Yeah,
Hmm.
we should do that with your
that's
dog.
why they people say the eyes are the window of the soul. I mean, there's so many sayings with the eyes, and I mean, it's
Back
crazy.
3,000 years ago, that's what they did. They looked at the
Wow.
irises. And so even in the Bible it says if your eye is dark, you're going to be dark, and if your eye is
Yeah.
light, your eye will be light.
That is so
That's
cool. Let me look at your eye, Sebastian. You're very cute. All I
And
You
what
know.
if
know,
they're
we
just cute?
diagnose you as super cute.
Yeah,
You are
exactly.
you are
Yeah.
cuteness overload. We
Super
can't
cute.
diagnose with iridology, but that's a general consensus. We all agree.
Yep.
Wow.
Sebastian's cute.
Very cool.
That's
Yeah.
Sebastian's fun.
fascinating.
Yeah, it's
Fascinating.
super
I
fun.
should have you look at Candy's eyes for what's going on with the teeth, although it's kind of subsided. That
Oh,
would be
it'd be
really
fun.
interesting.
Hmm.
That's
And her
next.
eyes are a lot different now. They're bigger, so they're easier to read.
That is next
Put it
week
down.
too. Practice class. Yay.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll be at the Newfoundland National Specialty with a giant booth and lots of product.
Oh, good. That'll
I
be
know.
fun.
Hey,
Uh,
how you feeling?
I am better. I was pretty delirious on Friday, you guys. Thank you for asking. I got bit by a tick on Wednesday, and I thought, I'm fine, I'm good. I took Letum, I took Golden Seal, and then when I finished my day, closed out my computer at 8 p.m., fever, delirium, just like went, what the heck hit me?
Wow.
And so I actually my muscles hurt, my nerves were on fire.
Still?
No, I played
Good.
Rife Frequencies on
Eh.
Lyme disease all weekend, and then drank ozone, got IV ozone, took a bunch ivermectin, took a bunch of stuff, and I'm here today.
Yay, Poppy.
Woo,
Wow.
woo, woo.
That is
Yay.
scary. I've been bitten by ticks in the past and nothing's happened to me. I guess it wasn't the carrier of anything, but
I'm just a white girl. That's what it is. I'm just
You're a
super
magnet.
white.
You're a magnet.
yeah.
White girl, blue eyes. And
Oh,
so in
wow.
iridology, the blue eyes are lymphatic and they're more sensitive, so they get more things.
Mm.
Yeah. So all you
Interesting.
brown-eyed beauties have an advantage.
Wow.
I
So is that
did
why
not
I'm
know
sick
that.
half the time? So, Poppy, you know that herbal defense that I carry, the tick stuff?
Oh yeah.
You know that? So I was talking to a girlfriend of mine, Claudia, Charisa and Carmina, Claudia Baker, who had all paws up in Rye, New York.
Hmm.
you remember her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, she sold her store, but anyway, we're good friends, and she still buys stuff from us, for me, for her dogs. And she was asking if, because she had two ticks on her the last couple days, and so I asked the guys at Adore Pet if we could take it, and he said, "Yeah,
Oh, cool.
yeah." So anyway, just
I should buy
FYI,
one from you.
well, I can sell it to you,
Wow.
dear.
Yes. Right
Wow.
on. Thank
We
you for
tip
And
that.
we
Poppy
tick
has red
free.
light, but Poppy loans her red light out so she can't use it.
The woman's an hour away, and she isn't going to get. It's like loaning a book.
I have loaned my red light to all my friends, and I
And
rarely
every time
ever.
she
I'm
needs
gonna
it,
have
she's
to
like,
buy
oops,
another one
oops.
just so my
Whoa,
friends.
whoa, 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 whoa. You didn't buy that one.
Oh, okay, yes, I was gifted that by Animal Soul, and
No, by
all my
Julie
friends, I
Stahl.
want you to go buy one, please, so I
So
can
No,
have mine back.
I gifted it to
where are all
you,
the
not them.
people? Where is everybody?
There. Oh, I removed you. I had you on Spotlight and I changed your screen. So you can see all the people by changing your gallery setting.
How do
Jill's
I?
like lost. Jill's all.
I'm like, was this the four of us, five of us?
Now I was featuring you.
Oh,
So,
you're so
so you
cute.
guys, today we have Cocotherapy. Happy Monday. I'm super happy to be here with you. I had my doubts and I lost some weight, sweating out some
Ooh.
stuff. But I'm looking leaner and meaner, maybe not meaner.
You're
And
never
so
mean.
I'm just super excited. You guys, I've actually wanted you on for years, and we just kind of keep missing each other, which is how it works in the email online space, is like hit and miss. And so I've met you in person. Your booth is always crowded. You're like the popular girls. And so you are beautiful, and I always think that I must need more coconut when I look at your faces because you guys just radiate this natural beauty. So
Aw.
please let us know the Cocotherapy story.
Carmina, you want to go since you're the yapper
Sure.
one?
Okay. Yeah. Well, for people that don't know, we've been in the coconut oil industry for 3 generations. It started with my grandma, my grandpa, on both sides of the family. We've had coconut farms. My grandma used to make coconut oil in our kitchen all the time. We used to watch her make it, and it was just part of our life, part of our diet, part of our medicine. She used it for everything, topically, and we would take it internally. So aside from our diet, if there was anything wrong with us, a tummy ache, we had lice in our hair, cuts, everything, she would just give us coconut. When we were feeling sluggish, when we were sick, it's just always coconut oil, something we grew up with. And that also went translated to our pets. So when our animals had diarrhea or constipation, it was coconut oil or our coconut chips. Coconut was just such a huge part of our growing up, our heritage, and our culture. So that's something we just knew. And
And
Cocotherapy,
like anything, we just took it for granted, I think. If you grow up with it, you kind of just say, oh, like we thought my grandmother's a little bit crazy over the top, for
but it
coconut.
worked. I
Yeah.
mean, we saw it work, but we
Yeah.
just thought it was cultural until when we came here to the US and Carissa had a dog with a lot of allergies, severe allergies. And at the time, we weren't holistically integrative vet minded. It wasn't a thing. We went to regular conventional vets.
Hmm.
And the vet obviously prescribed her prednisone, steroids, that typical conventional path. And she was only a year and a half. So she couldn't be on this long term for the rest of her life. It's just a band-aid. We learned that eventually. Back then, we weren't sure. And it just so happened somebody mentioned we needed to go see a holistic integrative veterinarian. And at the time, it was Dr. Becker. When she used to have a practice in Bourbonnais, Illinois, before she was famous. So
Hmm.
we thought, oh, okay. I mean, we drove 2 hours to go see her. It was insane. So,
Hmm.
but we knew we needed to change something. It wasn't working. This prednisone wasn't working. It was making her worse, aside from all the side effects. So when we saw Dr. Becker, she opened her eyes to the world of strengthening your immune system, what allergies truly was, an overacting immune system. And lo and behold, aside from fixing her diet, she mentioned adding coconut oil to her to
Mhm.
her food. And Grace and I were like, we looked at each other like,
What? Yeah.
what? This is like what my grandma has been doing all along. And that was almost, yeah, we were stunned because
Mhm.
it was a validation of what we had always believed, yet took for granted. So she said, we said, well, we have lots of coconut oil. We would bring it with us from the Philippines because we're so sensitive to the taste and smell of coconut oil. We just couldn't use the coconut oil that you get in grocery stores here. It smelled different. It tasted different. It's just like if your palate is used to a certain flavor and taste, that's what we were used to. So we thought, wow, let's just give our coconut oil to her. And we did. And we did see a huge improvement. We were able to wean her off the prednisone. It was just amazing. We showed Dr. Becker our coconut oil. She was really fascinated by it. Well, to make a long story short, we did run out of our coconut oil eventually, and we bought, grocery store brands. And we did notice there was a difference. First of all, she didn't really like it because she was also very sensitive to the taste. She didn't really care for it. And we felt like it made her really greasy. Sometimes she would get fits of diarrhea, and we were like, she'd still
So
itch, kind of smelled yeasty still. And we thought, wow, there's something going on
we
here.
knew there was a difference for sure.
We thought she was developing a tolerance for it. This is what we thought. But then after digging, and we talked to my uncle back in the Philippines who worked in the facility, and my grandma, and he goes, oh, no, no, it's not the same thing. It's not
That's
the same coconut
amazing.
oil. It was amazing to us.
Mhm.
Then he said, well, what kind of coconut oil are you giving? We told him because, well, that's not the same thing because the way we would make it, it's for nutraceutical purposes because my family would supply the nutraceutical industry with coconut oil that had high lauric acid levels, high MCTs, lauric, caprylic, and capric acids, which is what we use without knowing it, thinking it was just normal. He goes, it's not the same thing because there's so much variation on how coconut oil is made and the levels of MCTs and different kinds of coconut oil. And that's when we went down this path of like, we really need to know what's going on and how it's made. And we just, even though it's part of our family, we didn't really get into that aspect of it
Hmm.
until we thought like, we want whatever is working for dogs. Our dogs and our friends, they had pet allergies. So they would ask us, we would give it to them. We eventually gave some to Dr. Becker. She was amazed at how well it worked. It was just,
He was our
and
first
that's,
customer, actually.
yes,
That's
she was our first
incredible.
customer.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you guys, what a fun story. And I love that you didn't get how cool your family like history was until you ran out. Like then
That's
you tried some Americanized coconut, and it's so interesting because I've read about all the benefits of coconut oil. I've gone out and gotten virgin, organic, and just gone, oh, this is so greasy. How could this be beneficial? And it kind of made me sick to my stomach. It made me fat. I was just like, oh, what is the good in this? Because everybody on the holistic health space is like the lauric acid, the caprylic acid, this and that. I'm like, all I'm getting is fat on this. So, you guys, I love that you finally like came to this full circle moment to realize that your family was so ahead of the trend.
Right.
yeah, yeah.
And,
Well,
and
and go on.
I was just gonna say, I mean, the coconut oil you get in the grocery store is definitely a cooking grade oil. It's not bad, but people need to realize that it's made very, very differently. And I took so many different bottles just to smell and taste them when we first started this whole journey. And there's some that you can tell very much so that the taste is so muted. So it has to be probably mixed with RBD oil. So there's just so many different things about it, or refined bleach deodorized.
Okay, thank you. I was like, wait, what is
Oh,
that?
yeah, sorry. Yeah. So because it yields more oil. So in the industry, for people who make like a lot of coconut oil, they have to use press methods or use ways to extract oil and make more oil. Do you know what I mean? It's the same thing as olive oil, I guess. When
Watering it
when
down
Unadulterated.
essentially.
And
Pardon?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Poppy.
it's adulterated. Also, I know
yeah.
they soak coconuts in formaldehyde, you guys. Have you heard that?
Yeah. Well, they do. They usually use a lot of chemicals to
Hexane and
kill,
bleach.
yeah, to kill bacteria because this is the general way of making coconut oil. They harvest the coconuts, they grate the coconut, and because coconut ferments and spoils quickly, like literally overnight, it will spoil. They dry it out. They'll dry it in the sun and smoke. They have these like
Kiln ovens
yes, they have an oven, or sometimes they'll do it outdoors
and a
in
rack,
like a wooden
wire
table
rack.
with like yeah, like a rack. They put the coconuts there with like they'll burn the coconut husks underneath. Smoke comes out. They dry the coconuts that way. And then when it's dried, and then so you can imagine all the
Hmm.
contaminants there. So then when it's dry, they take the dry coconut, put it in sacks, and store it for when they need it when they so it's growing mold, it's growing who
So
knows all kinds
that
of
coconut oil
bugs,
is called copra. So
copra.
copra
Well,
is
and
It's
that's what we feed
industry.
our horses, you guys.
yeah,
So now I'm
but
freaking out because I
yes.
feed copra to my horses.
You do?
Okay.
Yes.
Where do you get it?
I get it from the from Cool Stance. Cool Stance is Copra International or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
copra is
Yeah.
Well,
very much refined, bleached, and
it's very
deodorized.
refined.
Very, very much.
But okay, so when it's time to make the coconut oil, they get the sacks that has been sitting in storage for what, 3, 6 months, whatever, how long, and then they reconstitute it with water. And it should, I don't know what kind of water. A lot of people just use water from the tap. And then, so
And
it
then
when
they
you mix
press
it
it.
with water, it creates like it rehydrates it like
Milk.
regular
Yeah.
coconut. And then they press that meat that's rehydrated and they squeeze out what is called coconut milk, but it's already
Make milk.
diluted with the water.
Okay.
And then they
Hmm.
boil that milk to separate the oil from the milk.
This is
That's
nasty.
that is how coconut oil really is made. But prior to that, they do use hexane, they do use bleach, chemicals to clean it, to bleach it. Um, and
Because it's
that
been
is,
sitting in the sacks for so long.
yeah,
You
so
got
they
to
have
make
to
sure it's
wash
clean.
it and
Yeah.
make sure they to kill the bacteria, to kill everything. And then they rinse it out with water, and then they use that reconstituted dehydrated but now reconstituted coconut meat, press that to get the milk. And out of that milk, they boil it. So a lot of heat, boil it, kill more microbes or whatever it is they could possibly kill. The oil will float to the top and separate. And then they skim that off. That's how they normally what commercial coconut oil is made out of
That
or how it's
so
made.
there's no real nutrient benefit from it, which is
I
why I just
mean,
got fat on it.
Yes, I mean,
Yeah.
is there medium chain fats in it? Yes, but it varies. It could be have a very low level of medium chain fats, and because there's such a commercial demand for coconut oil now, especially within the last 10 or 15 years, just to meet the demand, it is acceptable in the industry to mix virgin coconut oil with RBD oil and still call it virgin because there's no standards for the term virgin, like the percentage of virgin meaning unrefined. That's what virgin means in the coconut oil world. And refined coconut oil, they can have a mixture and still call it virgin, unfortunately. Yes, and it could be organic. You could still have that organic certification, even if it's partly refined, as long as
Just
most of
depends on
it,
the
like
percentage of the unrefined oil. And
exactly.
also, there has for really good virgin coconut oil, there has to be a low moisture level. So if it's virgin, they want it 0.2 or less. So it's kind of hard to do that when you reconstitute it and there's already water in there.
Right.
They have to do great lengths to get rid of the water, whereas for our coconut oil is at zero point zero 0.01 or zero point zero 0.02. So the moisture level is very, very, very low. So
And it's really
that's a
pure
world
oil.
of difference for coconut oil, the
So how
moisture.
do you guys make your oil? Like, what is a nutraceutical made oil? Because I've
Well,
tasted your cookies and they
yeah.
like pop. Like you can taste like you're eating out of a coconut.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, First of all, the huge difference is our coconut facility and our farm is in the same location. So we handle all the coconut. We know how the coconuts are grown. We can track the coconuts. We know exactly where how it's grown, how long it's been on the tree, and when it's harvested. Usually, we like to keep our coconuts on the tree for about 10 to 12 months. That's how long it takes for a coconut to harvest, to get ripe, to get to the right
Right.
point. So that's a critical point too, and having a coconut that's very rich in the nutrients that you want, because a lot of other farmer or facilities will buy coconuts from various farmers. So they don't know if it's 100% organic. They don't know the age of the coconut. They don't know when it was harvested, how long it's been harvested. But we do because the farm is on our facility. So once we harvest the coconut, within that same day, we process it. We cut it open, we grate the meat, and we press it immediately. So there's no dehydrating. We don't use kilns or fires or smoke or any heat because it's wet milled. That's what you call wet milled.
But no.
So our coconut oil is wet milled. And so there's no water, it's pure coconut milk.
Huh.
Yep.
That
And
is
then,
that is amazing, you guys.
yeah, and it's cold pressed, which is why cold press is another terminology that people throw around in marketing terms of coconut oil. A lot of them will say cold pressed when it really isn't. They use an extraction
Expeller
process,
press.
So
expeller
you're not
pressing.
damaging the nutrients.
Exactly.
And I love
Exactly.
that you guys wait a whole year to harvest. And that, of course, jacks up the amount of money you're invested.
Exactly.
But I guess all these other companies are doing baby coconuts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do, or they buy it from different places. A lot of them will actually buy the dried copra already. So they're already in sacks. So they're not really buying the full coconut
Coconuts.
because like I said, if you see the coconuts in the grocery that you're buying, did you
Right.
know that those coconuts, they're injected with a sort of preservatives, the coconut ice? They
No.
put
Yeah.
needles in there and they're injected with a certain preservative to keep it from turning. Because if you get,
Fermenting.
when we're in the fermenting, when we're in the Philippines and we get fresh coconuts, we want to open it and drink the water and eat the coconut quick because in
Like
a
right
few days
away.
it's very slimy. So I was wondering when we went to the grocery here and I saw coconuts, I said, Carmina, check this out. They've got coconuts. So when we first came, we cracked it open. First of all, there's hardly any water in that
A
thing.
lot of it was
Right.
Like in the
dry.
Philippines, you can literally pour lots of water out of the
Like
coconut. So it was kind of dried out. And then it tasted really weird. I was so disappointed because I can't handle the coconut water in the Tetra Packs or the ones in the because that's already what did they do?
well, it's
Pasture
pasteurized.
pasteurized. So
I mean, it just won't
you
last.
can't have it fresh. But the ones in the grocery store, they do inject it with a chemical. I don't know what it's called. I forget the name, but they inject it in the ice before they transport it.
Well,
They
and I
have
know Coca-Cola owns a lot of the coconut
water.
drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the coconut
Yeah.
water. And so I think everybody had a good idea and then it was bought out by megacorps and
Mhm.
then
Yeah.
Mhm.
like perverted like that. I do drink that harmless, the pink coconut, organic. Are you familiar with that line?
I'm not.
I'm
I
like all
honestly,
nervous. I'm like,
I
oh my
can't.
gosh, am I
I can't
drinking
drink
those?
coconut water here. I just can't because we go to the Philippines every year, and that's where I get my fix of coconut
You
water,
guys,
coconut milk.
I'm so
I
jealous. I want to go with you.
You can.
I
You can
want
come
real
with us.
coconut because it's very, very different and it's
Yeah.
very nourishing. Like your cells get happy.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and the great thing about coconut oil, it's really a different fat. It is a saturated fat. And we get this all day long when people ride us. And like my dog is fat sensitive or he's got pancreatitis. I'm so scared to give him coconut oil. How in the world can we do this? Because it's a saturated fat. So I get their fear. And humans have been scared off saturated fat for so long. But first of all, number one, animals are different. They eat saturated fats because that's what meat fat and protein animal proteins are saturated fat first of all. If it's raw it's good, it's okay, like we know how we feed all our animals raw meat and raw food for some. So it's the cooked long chain saturated fats that are bad and damaging, and long chain fats from animal fat, saturated fats cooked, are what's really difficult on both people and animals because it oxidizes. It's hard to digest. It's a longer metabolic process to digest long chain animal fats than medium chain fats, which is what coconut oil is. So everybody throws around medium chain fats. It's just basically a smaller fat molecule, no bigger than 12 carbon atoms. And because it's smaller, it has a different process. It'll go straight through the portal vein to the liver. It doesn't need bile acids to be broken down. It doesn't need pancreatic lipase to be broken down. It just goes through the liver, very low chylomicron activity, goes to the liver, and it's converted to ketones and energy. So it doesn't go through the intestinal wall with chylomicrons. It doesn't go to the adipose fat tissue. So there's a lot of things that are different about coconut oil. It is probably one of the cleanest, easiest form of fats to metabolize, which is
I
why
had
It
most
no
is.
milk
idea,
is
you
medium chain
guys.
fats. Yeah,
I love the science behind this. Now, I know there's tons of science on MCTs, like
yeah.
seizure dogs, things like that. What are the benefits that you guys are seeing in your, I want to call it your practice. But what do you call yourselves? You guys are canine nutritionists, right?
We are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys wear many hats.
Well, I mean, the reason why, yeah, we are certified in animal nutrition from the University of Illinois. I mean, obviously, the we didn't focus on fat the entire time. Although, I mean, that is what we've always been interested in. I mean, we do have a degree in biology and biochemistry, which is where we like to focus on fat itself. And just because of our family being so into coconut oil and knowing the health benefits of it, we have kind of immersed ourselves into that. But aside from the health benefits that we can see ourselves, and you know what's really interesting about coconut oil is you can give it to dogs and you could take it yourself. So it's almost like you can tell how it makes you feel, and you can just imagine how it makes your pets feel. I honestly feel like it is the low, and Carissa said this, it is the most low stress metabolic way you could feed your cells. It feeds your brain, your gut, your skin, your organs. I mean, it just feeds all the cells in your body. And our body is bombarded with free radicals every day. You know, our body every day is being bombarded. And coconut oil is really, because it doesn't go rancid, it's extremely stable. So it is a really powerful antioxidant. It's very anti-inflammatory. A lot of other fats are very pro-inflammatory.
Because
The
they get
long
rancid very
chains, yeah,
quickly.
the unsaturated, unsaturated fats, those are very pro-inflammatory. So I'm not saying they're bad, like omega 6s. I mean, omega 3s aren't bad, but
Right.
they do go rancid. They're
You have to
very
take care of
unstable.
those fats. You take
Yes.
care when you have fish oil or an omega-3 oil, dark bottle, away from light, in a cool fridge. Use it quickly because long chain poly unsaturated fats have more missing. So they have double bonds. So that's where they break. It's a weak link. That's why they oxidize. Whereas saturated fats like coconut oil does not have any double bonds. It's very tight and stable, so they don't oxidize and they don't break easily. I guess that's a really layman's term to explain it, but that's why it's very stable. And you had mentioned, Poppy, about the seizures. The
Right.
reason why MCT oil helps so much with seizures is because of the ketones. So capric and caprylic acid get converted to ketones very quickly, and it actually elevates the blood ketone levels, and it can move to the brain and it feeds the brain. So brain's health, you need usually runs on glucose and sugar, and sometimes there's this break in the system where they can't get enough food. So basically, it's a starving brain. Whereas the ketones help nourish the brain. And lauric acid in our MCT oil, and we get this question all the time. They're like, why do you leave lauric acid in your MCT oil? Because there's a lot of MCT oil out there that's just C8 and C10,
I
capric or
didn't
caprylic.
realize that, you guys.
Yeah. Well, it's for speed. They do that so it gets converted to ketones very, very quickly, goes to the brain and gives you energy, right? But the problem with that is it gets converted to ketones quickly, but then it also stays in the blood well, it stays short. You know what I mean? It burns off
The
quickly.
metabolic
Just
life is short.
fast
It's
Yes,
short,
after.
after
fast. It
after
burns
three
fast.
hours, it's burnt off and it's gone. So what do? Take more, coconut oil or MCT oil, whereas lauric acid converts a little bit slower, but it actually stays in blood like 8 hours. So it's a
Wow.
much, much, probably 2, 3 times longer. Your blood ketone levels are elevated with lauric acid, which is why we on purpose wanted to have lauric acid on our MCT oil, just so
I
that it keeps the blood ketone levels up. And
But
unfortunately, a lot of people are afraid of lauric acid because it's had such a bad rap. People will say lauric acid is not a medium chain fat. It's actually long chain, but it's not. It's only 12 carbon atoms. If it's long chain, it's 16 to 22. So
wow.
it really is. And there have been studies, and you will see this in the chem publishing. Like there's a society that just does nothing but study fat.
Chem and Chem
Yeah.
Spider.
Yeah,
There's
for
all these
fat,
chemical societies that have shown how lauric acid is metabolized. But
metabolize.
another thing that to point out is it does change to all these MCTs, caprylic, capric, and lauric acid does change to ketones in the blood, but lauric acid can actually cross the blood-brain barrier and actually convert to brain ketones. So there's two kinds, brain and blood ketones.
Yeah.
So
That makes
there's
so much sense, you guys. And lauric acid is also super great for killing yeast, right?
Well, it's caprylic. That's for yeast.
Okay. So the
yeah.
caprylic, so the lauric acid crossing
It's
the blood-brain
bacterial.
barrier is
Hmm.
helping with like cognitive malfunctions.
Yes.
Right. Well,
So,
okay, so when you consume lauric acid, it transforms to monoglyceride monolaurin. That's what happens in your body when you take it, which is a powerful antibacterial, antimicrobial. So that kills the gram negative, the bad bacteria in your gut, in your body, and the dead bacteria fragments that goes out into your blood cells and into your bloodstream, your white blood cells attack that. So it creates a low immune response, which is what's actually training a baby's body or a human body or any body to improve your immune system. I mean, there is high levels of lauric acid and MCTs in mother's milk, and people know that it helps the immune system, but that's exactly how it helps the immune system
I had no
because of
idea.
that low grade inflammation. Yep.
That is amazing. You have a ton of comments on Facebook. And I just want
Oh,
to say that Michelle Allen says she injects oranges with vodka. So, yeah.
Oh, there you go. I
So I guess we're having cocktails at your booth next time around, right,
that
Michelle?
that sounds
that
really
actually sounds
good.
kind of
It
good.
does. Try that, Michelle.
Bring the oranges. They'll bring the coconut MCT oil, and we'll have a party. I won't drink vodka. Um, and she also says MCT seizure dogs with brain tumors, causing ravenous appetite, great to increase calories easily with diabetic dogs, also great for dogs with CCD, also great for wound care. Like the list goes on and on and
Mhm.
on. The only thing, the frustrating thing for me is I had read all these scientific reviews. I have talked about it. I have not seen the results from it because I was using a subpar product.
It does make a difference. I mean, even the coconut oil, the if you look at Preemie baby formula, for example, it says medium chain triglycerides, which is the MCTs, right? And that's what they put in these nutraceutical baby Preemie formulas. That's pretty much what our facility does. I mean, we don't do food grade, cooking grade, cosmetic grade. I mean, there's so many grades of coconut oil. The coconut oil that you put in shampoo or cosmetic products is different from the coconut oil that you cook with or else the coconut oil that is used for therapeutic purposes. So there definitely is a difference.
Well, and I'm sure there's quite a large difference in processing financially.
Yes.
Time, so
Yes.
you have a year into your coconuts, then you harvest, and then you immediately have to process
Mhm.
because of the sensitivity of it.
Mhm.
And then
Yes. It's
That's
not
how
that's
large
why
scale is this?
we're a very
how
small batch. That's why we don't create like a lot. of coconut oil. We're not like a mass commodity coconut oil. So that's, I guess, what makes us very different. The same thing goes for MCT oil, because a lot of MCT oil that you can buy out there, it will say in the label highly refined, because they have to refine it to separate the medium chain fats. So,
It is made from RBD oil too. There's no smell, no
mhm,
coconut smell at all. And
my
I
those,
God.
noticed that.
yeah,
Whereas ours does have a little bit.
it's
Our MCT oil, there's a
Yours smells
slight
very
smell and
coconutty.
taste. Yes, for
Yours have
MCT oil.
like a legit, like tropical,
Yeah.
beautiful smell to it.
And even the MCT oil does have a slight smell and a slight taste. Yeah.
You
But
know
not
what's really funny
overpowering.
too? Aside from the way we process it, and this is what my family has told us, our farm is actually located in a volcanic region. We're not on the beach.
Oh,
So everybody thinks that coconuts are from the beach, which there are. There's tons of it, but we've been fortunate enough to have our coconuts in the mountain area, in the volcanic areas in the Philippines. So the soil is different. It I feel like that's why it's
Mhm.
tastes different as well. I mean, we all know that if certain fruit is grown in Seattle, apples or whatever, or
Mhm.
cherries,
Yeah.
in different parts of the United States, they are different. They don't taste the
Mhm.
same. They're different nutritionally. There are
Or even
lemons or
grapes,
limes
like grapes for wine. That's why they have different regions, right? That makes different
regions,
kind
and
of
yes,
wine.
in Italy, the
Have that like
different taste,
kind of
different
grapes.
wine. Yep, yep.
yeah, that
So
makes
that's the same
sense
way with
because of the
coconuts.
volcanic ash. Like, I love bentonite. I use bentonite in my practice for, gosh, 25, 26 years. And the benefit of bentonite is insane. So you're literally growing your trees on a bentonite base, basically.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
No, I
And
didn't even
that's
Yeah,
think about
that's
that.
like ancient world, like clean minerals, because it's
right.
coming from the deepest part of the earth.
That's true. I mean, we were fortunate that our farm happened to be there. We didn't know, obviously, at the time that that was such a benefit, and that's why we make our coconut oil for those reasons, because we've been lucky to have our farm, and why we won't buy coconuts from other, farmers or other sources. And when there's a typhoon in the Philippines, it really hurts, because then if the coconuts get blown off the trees and are down on the ground, we won't use them. So we can lose a lot of coconuts on
And
the
we have,
ground,
we
but
have
after the
definitely.
typhoon,
Mhm.
we just throw them away. I mean, we give them to farmers that will use it for like agriculture or other processes, but we
Livestock.
won't use it
Mhm.
for a coconut oil. We can't. So that's another thing that makes it really, really tough. I mean, I know people might say, well, I could get a jar at Costco for $6 and it's a big giant gallon and it's in a plastic jug. I mean, well, yeah, you can, but it's just not the same thing. I mean, that's another thing that makes it tough. I mean, we've been sold out of our coconut oil just because of that, just because
And
of the,
your product is human, dog, and cat, or
Yeah.
yes.
horses. Do you have a horse
Yes,
product too?
horses, birds, yeah. Actually, Dr. Becker was the one. I mean, she's an avian specialist, and we had parrots too when we were growing up,
Mhm.
and we would give them some coconut oil just because we liked it. We didn't think it was for health type of thing for them, but she told us it was great for their molting. So I'm not really that familiar with horses, but I do know of some people that do. And in our farm in the Philippines, we would give the coconut shreds to the horses and the pigs and the cows and the chickens. And they would have a lot of, they get a
It's
lot
the
of the
pressed
MCTs.
coconut. Our coconut chips is also very different, Poppy. I don't know if you've ever opened a bag or seen our coconut chips. It's
No, I
very
haven't.
different. Okay, that is what your horses can eat, because like the coconut you can get in an organic store for people. It's the white shavings, and then you
Right.
eat it as a snack, and it's organic, but it's white, very, very
But
white.
often they put like sugar on it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes they'll have some that's not, but it's very, very white. I keep repeating that because in my head, I'm like, how can it stay white?
So,
I've seen coconuts turn brown literally in minutes after you open it.
so
So
how
they
does
must
it stay
bleach it.
white?
They must bleach it. But that
Well, they
coconut,
use chemicals for sure
yeah, yeah.
for
But
that.
that coconut, if you put it in water, just get a bag of organic coconut for people, okay? Even in the health food store, put it in water and watch it. In an hour, it's still there. The same exact shavings. If you
Right.
take our coconut chips and you put it in water, literally in fact, 60 seconds, it's turned
It
Mush.
breaks
into
down.
mush. It's broken down. So our chips are hugely, vastly different from any coconut chips you can get out there, which is why it's so, so good for GI because we don't defat it either. So there's still oil in those chips, unlike the ones you use for the humans, the white ones you eat for snacks or granola. Those have been so defatted. There's not a lot of MCTs in those. Ours has fat in it. They break down in water, which means it'll break down very easily in the gut. So that is huge for us. And we know that there's a lot of small animal owners that buy it for their small animals, like the rabbits and the little gerbils or hams, whatever small animals are. Our parrot used to like that. And in the Philippines, they call them coconut cake because when they smash the coconuts, it looks like patty cakes or whatever you call it. They give that to their farm animals.
Oh, that's
So,
awesome.
yeah, those farm
Yeah, I
Here,
animals
would
are
I
very
would
healthy.
love to have
Poppy,
a coconut cookie for horses.
Poppy, look. That's the coconut.
There you go.
Let me spot
And
Yeah.
my
Candy's
view.
attacking me because she wants it.
That is a staple in my Yorkies. If you have a
Yeah.
Yorkie, a
Every
dog with a
morning.
hairy butt, you really need to give those chips because you want their stool consistently firm. You know what I mean? So,
So what does that do, you
Every
guys?
morning.
Yeah.
well, it's fiber. So it's fiber. So you get all the fiber benefits. You know what I mean? Laxity, regularity, firm
Yeah.
stool.
Well, and it also is a mix of soluble and insoluble fiber, so it actually ferments in the gut. So it's a great prebiotic. It
Hmm.
feeds the
Yes,
gut bacteria in your gut. Same here. I can't live with it because my it makes
without
my
it.
dogs who has an issue with scooting and anal gland issues. But so when I give her that, it helps with her anal glands. It helps with her regularity. Her poop isn't soft and it's not rock hard either. So it is a great
What
prebiotic.
about like cats? Cats with constipation, cats with hairballs, megacolon, stuff like
Yes.
that.
Oh yeah, we have a hairball product, which is essentially the same as the coconut
Coconut
chips that we
chips.
have, but we call it hairball. We just grind it up a little finer so that they can sprinkle it in the cat's food. My cat has not had a hairball, and I can't even remember the last time because they always have the chips. So
That's
it
amazing.
definitely, and the great thing about this coconut fiber, it doesn't have phytic acid. Most plant fibers have phytic acid. I don't know if you're familiar
Like
with phytic
grains.
acid.
Yeah.
It's an anti-mineral. So if you take a fiber supplement like benefiber or a plant-based
Psyllium,
psyllium husk,
Psyllium
it will have
husk. Yeah.
phytic
chia,
acid. Yes.
chia too, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So that means take it away from, you don't take it at the same time as your vitamin mineral supplement because it will draw trace minerals from it. It's considered an anti-mineral, whereas coconut fiber does not have phytic acid. So it is
Wow,
not an anti-mineral. So
that's
you can give it long
amazing.
term. Yeah.
I had no idea. That is so awesome. So now I'm rethinking my whole life, you guys.
And for cats with constipation, the chips, their hairball does help, but what really does help cats with constipation is the coconut
Coconut
oil.
oil.
I know because
So
I
you
had
just
a
put a little oil on the side of their food or
I'll mix it. I'll mix it in their food. And
okay.
really a little goes a long way. For our oil, it's very rich. Some people are pretty obsessed about give me the exact dose. But I always say every animal's different. I had two Yorkies and they were very different. One could take a lot less, like a pea size, even less of oil, and she was perfect with it, whereas the other one needed a little bit more. You know what I mean? So every single animal is different. I always say this is a food. Don't get obsessed about it. Just look at it as a fiber food or a really
a
good
fat, a
fat
macronutrient. I
fat.
feel
Right.
like fat
Yes.
is the
Like
most
an avocado,
underrated. Yeah.
huh?
I
Well,
agree.
fat
I
is an
agree.
underrated macronutrient. It's
Absolutely.
essential. We think coconut oil is a facilitative and functional fat. It may not be one of those essential omega-3 fats, but it's definitely functional and facilitative. And for cats and dogs, if cats don't, because we get people say, well, my cat's so picky. If you mix anything in their food, they won't eat it. But it's surprising that some cats will lick it off your hand. Or
Right.
if you just dab their
I do
nose
like
on it or their paw, they'll lick it off their paw.
I do like a cat charcuterie board. So I'll
Oh,
like just put kind of all their herbs around their food. And
Mhm.
then if they want to mix it in, they mix it in or they just lick up whatever they want. And but if they really need it and they won't eat it, I'll just put it on their paw
Mhm.
and then they'll lick it off.
lick
And
it
that
off.
it
Right.
works great. But I have never seen cats really refuse fat. I think
That's
cat, and I
true.
think dogs love that. I think
Yeah.
that's why, they lick your leg if you have lotion on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's true.
Michelle brought up a really good point about diabetic dogs, is that it doesn't spike blood sugar.
No, it doesn't.
Not at all. Not
That's
at all.
amazing. And
Yeah.
so it's cool fat. It doesn't, so in horses we call it a cool fat, is horses can gain weight on it but not get crazy on it because you don't want 1,000 pounds going nuts on you because you're on top
Right.
of them.
Right.
We don't ride our
Right.
dogs and cats, so we get a little
Right.
excited when our dogs and cats are happy and healthy and bouncing around. Your life is not in danger unless they're gonna like bounce you, and trip you in that
Yeah.
regards. But your fat, so you have so many products. You have cookies, you have chips, you have oil, you have ghee. Do you ever like mix herbs? I know you have like turmeric, a golden paste,
Yeah.
and do you do research on those? Do you follow like cancer dogs on that stuff?
I mean,
We
I've read some and we have well, not on turmeric. Are you talking turmeric per se or
Whatever
coconut
you
oil?
have.
I mean, we have a scientific studies ebook that you can download from our website, and it's a free download.
Right.
And we compiled studies. This is all coconut oil studies based on certain conditions. So we have a chapter on cancer, gut health, bone health,
brain
joint health,
health.
brain, and these are all actual studies on how it helped. So you can download it and take a look. So definitely we're always looking for, at studies that um talk about MCTs and certain health. And it's unbelievable what they found. And actually MCT oil for brain health and seizures and epilepsy has been known since the 60s, actually 1960s.
You're
So
kidding me.
and
Of
that's what they
course
would
it
Yeah.
get.
has.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. But then, of course, it gets buried because there's a lot of seizure medications now that, other people are
They're
Yeah.
pushing.
heavily invested in.
Yes,
So
correct.
if taking a clean coconut oil, and I think that's another reason for like Coca-Cola buying up all these coconut companies is so
Mhm.
they can make a subpar product and it's not medicine, it's just like some energy drink or something like that. Like you're just getting your potassium off of that.
Right.
I
And
feel
Poppy, you were saying about gaining weight. Interestingly enough, there's a lot of people that have switched fats, like they would stop using vegetable oil or they'll take more coconut oil and have lost weight. And that's because coconut oil is a thermogenic fat, meaning it burns energy when it's metabolized.
so
So
that's how I
we
know I was eating crappy coconut. Yeah.
probably, I mean,
It's the
I eat
American
tons of it.
coconut diet. It gets you fat. Yeah.
I literally, because I'm so used to it, I will take a tablespoon of our MCT oil every morning. And I do not watch of course, my weight will fluctuate, obviously, like a lot of people. If I eat too many,
But
I have a wicked sweet tooth. Okay, I'm going to admit that. But I don't, I feel like if I need to get in shape, I will take more MCT oil because
That's
it
or
just,
amazing.
coconut
So I
oil.
was
yeah.
taking this organic MCT oil and I don't think I got smarter from it, but I definitely put like my pants were tighter, my shirts were tighter. I'm like, this sucks. I'm not gonna do this anymore. So I quit taking it.
I do their MCT oil every morning in coffee, tea, or chai. I cannot survive the day without it.
And your face is beautiful too.
Dude,
Thanks.
Yeah.
I
I would have never
know.
known you were 70 or
I was shocked. I
Quiet.
was
I
shocked when I
know. I
found
was
out.
too.
I was
I
gonna
I
thought
was
say,
she
well,
was my
what?
age. I was
I
like,
do use
what?
coconut oil on my face when I take off my eye makeup. I use their coconut
Ew.
oil and then I rub it in my face. And
Now,
don't forget about coconut oil for brushing the teeth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Talk
I
about
mean, the
that, you
girls
guys.
attack me for the coconut oil. They see the jar and they're like lunging for it. They love it. So it's a great way to get the coconut oil in them and plus the benefit of the teeth brushing.
Right.
Yeah, they
Thank
have
you, Jen.
studies on that. Like the coconut oil kills a certain mouth bacteria that causes gingivitis and cavities in humans, so which is why it's very effective. We have a lot of mouth bacteria, so it's good for brushing teeth. I was just had a dentist appointment last week, and she's like, "Man, your teeth and gums are good. Do you floss? What is it?" I'm like, "I really hate flossing. I'll force myself, but I oil pull." So that's when you swish with coconut oil. She goes, there is something about your gums that are so pink and so healthy. So she
Huh.
was asking me what I did. I'm like, I hate flossing. I will force myself once in a while, skip because I'm too tired, but I will
Right.
the oil pulling is very, very good for you. And it's not just for your teeth and your gums. I think it draws toxins out of your body. I started oil pulling a long time ago because I got a lot of migraines. And I read from Dr. Bruce Fife, who is a human naturopathic doctor, and they call him Dr. Coconut because he knows so much about coconut oil. He has a whole book on oil pulling. So I read it and it's like joint health, migraines, I mean, all these things that you pull out of your body, these toxins that cause that. So that's why I started oil pulling and it makes a world of difference. You just have clarity. So if you can
Well, and it
oil
makes your
pull,
teeth really white,
it
right?
does. That's what they said. That's what people say. I don't know. My teeth are
How,
white.
okay, talk to me about your technique. I need to know this.
Okay, you just take probably less than a tablespoon of virgin coconut oil. I like the
By
virgin.
your company, though.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cocotherapy. I know there's nothing else in it. You don't want coconut oil with chemicals.
Chemicals.
Yes,
And
yes,
swish that in your mouth.
yes.
What's the
So I
point?
I take
Right.
less than a tablespoon and I put it in I don't even melt it. It's just solid
Solid.
coconut. When you put it in your mouth, it'll naturally melt. So you put it in your mouth and you slowly swish it. You just keep your jaw relaxed because you will need to swish this at least 10 to 20 minutes. So you just swish it naturally
Do
and
you
it
get it
melts.
all the way back here, or are you just
You
like,
go,
are you like sucking it through your,
no, I'm just doing this. And then halfway through, sometimes your saliva earns up, and I feel like I need to spit it out and put a fresh batch. So about halfway through, I will spit it out in a garbage can. Don't
oh,
spit it out in your sink because it's just oil will solidify if it's cold.
Well,
And you just,
hot water will take care of that. Because
yeah,
I spit it out of my sink.
yeah, but
So
I'm anal about oil in my
she's
sink.
anal. Okay, she's
I
anal.
can't even do my disposal. I can't put anything in my disposal, and I'm very
And a
treasure.
Garbage
plumber will
disposal.
tell you definitely don't spit it down the sink. Yes, a hot water will kind of liquefy it again, but it's still an oil and it will adhere as it gets farther down in the pipes. And then as it gets cold, it will solidify and it'll start to back up. And it's really difficult process to get it all out.
See,
okay, we'll do
Carmina,
it
thank
in the
you.
trash.
Well,
Yes,
I do in the
yes.
trash. Told you, Carmina. Anyway,
I know,
so
I know.
I
I'm
will.
just not
Well,
anal
where do
like
you,
her.
wait, where do you guys live? Because I know Charlene lives in Nashville and it gets really cold there. I live in California.
We live in
Chicago,
Illinois.
Illinois.
So you guys are still in Illinois.
Yes.
You
Yes.
never left.
No,
No. We're
I
we're
would
we're still
not
there.
ever think of you two in Illinois.
I
I
know
know.
either.
That's the
Trust me.
least
Believe
tropical
me.
place on the planet.
We're dying. Believe me, we're dying.
Oh, we will change that soon enough. My aging bones need warmth. And then once after I spit it out, I will put a fresh half a tablespoon back on my mouth and continue to swish. And I
Okay.
will try and go. And when you wake up in the morning, do it first before you brush your teeth. You just wash your face. You keep your mouth closed. You're swishing. You go to the bathroom. You do your business. You wash your face. You can do all this with your mouth closed while you're swishing. It's surprising. Half the time, it's almost like, what? It's been 20 minutes already. I didn't even know. And then
And
you
I'm
spit
sure
it out and
your
you're done.
husband loves that because you're not talking to him. Now,
That's so true.
You know what? How did you know that, Bobby? It's very true. He doesn't, well, I
he's
like
like, it's
it.
time to oil pull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or else, well, you know what? If he's talking to me and I don't want to respond, I'm like, hmm, whatever. But
You
so, yeah,
fake the oil pull.
it's very beneficial for all parties involved, whether you're oil pulling or whether they're not oil
You're like,
pulling. Yeah, yeah. But it's just it's you feel so good after doing it. In the beginning, I was like, okay, great. My teeth feel good, my gums feel great. But after a while, if you get into the habit, you really will feel a difference. Some sort of mental clarity. You're not as achy and whatever it
And you
is.
do it twice a day or once?
No, just
Just in the
once in the
morning?
morning. Yes.
Gosh, I would have thought at night. So I started oil pulling with black cumin seed oil because I
Ooh.
was having problems with my gums and teeth. I'm very sensitive to like meats and things like that. And it was helping, but I always thought like let it heal the teeth overnight while, you're down for 7 to 8 hours and it does its job. So I
Huh.
would never thought about morning. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure nighttime is fine too. It's just for me, habit is morning, when I'm doing all my morning chores, I can actually just oil pull. Yeah.
I love that. Thank
Yeah.
you. People wanted to know on Facebook too about your routine. So, and you're being invited to come to the North and South Carolinas, not too far from Dr. Judy. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Ooh.
if people want you to come visit, get out of Illinois. Maybe
How
they
about
want you
for,
to move.
yeah, for temper,
There could
yeah.
be some palm trees there and crocodiles. I don't know. You
I'm
guys,
scared of crocodiles.
I mean, they look good on you.
I have a chihuahua, so crocodiles, I'm terrified of them.
Yeah, but
And
they make a nice bag. Nice shoes,
oh,
nice
Oh,
bag.
I was like
You guys
thinking,
forgive me for that if you're
no,
vegan.
no, it's
Oh
okay. I
my
had
gosh.
to.
Oh, oh.
exactly. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, but no, tropical will be good. I don't know how we lasted this long in Illinois. Do you, Carmina?
I'm shocked actually. I just didn't have you guys pegged for like kind of Midwestern, upper Midwestern, right?
Yeah,
Chicago.
yeah, yeah.
Well, when we first came to the Philippines, I was here first. One of my best friends, I mean, this was a whole different lifetime ago. I worked for Anderson Consulting, IT. So we were both in technical, at least I was. So the headquarters, Arthur Anderson, was in Chicago, which is why I came here. That was in the beginning. But and then never left because it was so beautiful. We came in the
Well,
summer. It was the
when
lake.
when I first came and I first saw snow, I was in love. It's
Me
beautiful,
too.
it's
Me
white,
too.
it's
It
so
looks
pretty.
like coconut.
Exactly. I loved it. I loved all the
We never
winter
saw snow. I
clothes.
never saw snow till I was what, 27,
Yeah,
29.
till we
Yeah. I
came
was
here.
so
So of course
excited.
you're gonna be in love with it. And I was like, yay, it's gonna snow tomorrow. So happy. Now it's like, oh, it's gonna snow. But before I was so excited every time it snowed, and now I'm done with it. I think I'm done.
Move.
I've had enough.
So where's your plant, your office? Is it all in the Philippines? Is this a whole family business?
Yes, it's in the Philippines Quezon province, which is the main. There's like what eight? Wait, how many islands are there?
7,000
7,000
7,000
islands
islands in
in
the
the
Philippines.
Philippines. So there's a lot, but it's this one main island where there's a lot. It's a volcanic
Amazon.
region, and a lot of most of the coconuts are grown in that island. So that's where the farm and the facility is. We have an older sister who lives in the Philippines who runs the Cocotherapy part over
In
there.
the Philippines.
Uh-huh.
Now,
Hmm.
are you two twins?
Yes.
That's what I
Yeah.
assumed, but now I was like wondering that halfway through because whenever I've seen you, I'm like, which one are you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, yep, yeah.
So
And
there's
then you have an
three
older
girls.
sister. And
Yes.
then what about your parents? Are they still alive?
No, just my mom, not my
Yeah,
dad. My dad passed away several years ago.
Oh, I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so your mom eats coconut every day, probably.
She does, but she's getting picky in her old age. It's
Well,
getting hard for her to
they
eat.
cook with coconut oil, so
Yes.
it's
Yes.
part of their diet. So they don't cook with any vegetable oil at all. So they cook with it. So that's how she gets the MCTs in her food, as part of it. She doesn't have to take a teaspoon or whatever like we do. It's in everything
That's
there.
the number one cooking oil in the Philippines. I have a jar of cooking grade. coconut oil that I bring from the Philippines. If you look at it, it's a jar of white coconut. It could be beef tallow, it could be coconut, but it is a cooking coconut oil. So that's what I cook with. Yeah. And that's what they cook with. So my mom gets that in her diet.
So
Yeah,
that
but
helps
I
her
mean, we
brain
basic.
health.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
Is she sharp?
she
yeah,
is. She's sharp.
yeah.
I think too sharp. She's forgive me, mom. Hopefully she's not watching this. No, but no, it's good. It's all good.
You guys, that's hilarious. I'm so excited. Now I want to buy your product. So it's cocotherapy.com, right? And you guys
Yes.
Yeah.
have all your product line. Do you have anything new coming up?
No, we don't have a lot of new things coming out often. We just like to focus on what we have and do
And
it
what we
really well.
know, what we
And
know
what we
well.
know, yeah. So
Is
we
it?
do have freeze-dried meat treats made with our coconut chips in
Chips.
it. So that's what makes our freeze-dried meat treats a little different because I had a Yorkie who had protein losing enteropathy. She had a very hard time digesting protein. Her blood albumin was always so low. Every time I gave her too much protein, I'm like, eat more protein, yeah, whatever. She couldn't digest it. So I found long ago that if I gave her a little teeny freeze-dried meat treat along with her coconut chips, she could handle it and she could break it down. So that's why if you look on our ingredient list for all our freeze-dried meat treats, we use our coconut chips in
I
there.
didn't know you had freeze-dried meat treats.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
And
Yeah.
organs. We also have an organ treat and we have our coconut chips in it. It's just part of our treat line to have
Oh,
the
I'm
coconut
so
chips.
excited about that, you guys, because I know so many people who cook a subpar diet, like the home cook, but there's no organ meat. And
Mm.
I'll be
Oh,
like, you guys probably should add more organ meat. And they're like,
yes.
that's so gross. I don't want to do that. But this is a really easy way to
Oh
get
yeah,
that
you
in.
can sprinkle in like a topper. I do it. My dog does eat raw, or like not that I don't make it myself, but it's commercial raw, really good
That's
commercial
what
raw.
I
I will
do.
still sprinkle organ bites on it just because A, it smells so yummy. B, she loves it, and it has a coconut chips in it.
Well, and she's getting her MCT, so she's
Yes,
staying young from
yes,
that.
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what if I know one of our members has a dog with a little skin tag tumor on the eyelid? Can you put safely coconut oil near the eye?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. You know,
I've done it. Oh, go ahead.
well, it's funny you said that because my husband had a sty in his eye just last week, and he's always asking me what to do, because of I know everything what to do with my dog. So he's like, "What should I do?" I said, "Warm compress and coconut oil." He goes, "In what if it goes in my eye?" I said, "It's fine." So he would put it in his eye where his sty was, and the rim of his eye. Obviously, some got in. Warm compress, coconut oil. It was gone the next day. So
Wow.
yes,
If
we've
you've
had,
ever had a sty, they're very painful, huh?
Oh,
You can barely touch it. The first thing I do is grab coconut, because isn't a sty some sort of viral thing? Is that
it
what a sty
can
is?
be. It can be
it can
bacterial
be.
or viral.
Yes,
So
yes.
I put coconut oil in it. I tell you, by the next day, it is very much reduced. And then after a day or two, I've forgotten about it.
It's
And we have
gone.
a study on that. There's I wrote a blog on coconut oil and eye health, and there's a study that they use with rabbits. But anyways, they put coconut oil in rabbits' eyes and it's for certain eye conditions, and it really, really helped.
Like
I can't remember.
Yeah.
corneal ulcers or
Yeah, I can't remember what
okay,
it is
I'll
linked
look
in
it
the
up
blog.
because I'm
Yeah.
super curious
Yeah,
about
you
that.
can search
Yeah.
our blog pages for like eye, rabbit,
Okay,
ice, whatever. If I find it, I'll send it to you, Poppy.
that'd be
But
great.
yes, it's very, you
Yeah.
can definitely put coconut
So we've
oil in the
got
eye.
coconut oil on our teeth. We have it on our eyes. We got it on the anal glands.
You can
You
clean
can
your
use
ears
and
with
to
it.
clean their ears because I had a Cocker Spaniel long before I did Chihuahuas. I had a Cocker Spaniel with chronic ear infections. It's just the
Yeah.
droopy ears. It's always so and before we really got into this whole coconut health kick because I didn't, you don't listen to your grandma
You
all the
don't.
time.
You
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 don't. You
think
go
you
to
know
your
better when you're 20.
exactly. And I'm like, oh gosh, it's so old school medicine. Let's get with a program and go with a pharmaceuticals, antibiotics, that type of thing. It's crazy. But I used to clean his ears and his ears were always red, swollen, itching, inflamed. I used to clean his ears out with coconut oil. And it was
Now,
amazing how well it helped.
we mentioned yeast, and I know a lot of dogs have yeast.
Yeah.
How do you use your coconut oil for killing yeast? Can you?
You
Yes. Oh,
can.
yeah. I would do the MCT because it's very high in caprylic acid. That's the number one yeast killer. So I always say the inside outside approach. You add it to their food, and then we have a customer who would take a cotton square and rub it in the black areas of the skin, and it would help. Like she's telling me the yeast is coming off. I'm like, it is, but
You're
like
like, it's just wiping off. How
yeah, she's
weird
just
is that?
like wiping off the areas, the inflamed red areas, because it will kill it. You know what I
That's
mean? It's a
amazing.
topical application. So it's a 1-2 inside outside approach is what I tell people.
Have you
For
ever ozonated it?
we've
You
had
know
people
what?
ask us about that.
Yeah, and we actually were talking to a guy who did who ozonated
Ozonated.
oils. Yeah, and he was asking us about that. I think, Carissa, didn't he give us like a little sample of that? I wasn't,
Yeah,
I
I'm
am not
sure.
super familiar. So for us, in order to do anything, we want to know about it inside and out. We obsessed with the science and why it's good and blah, blah, blah. But so we
Is
never
it really
really,
different?
yeah, pull a trigger on that. I mean, I'm not saying that it's
I
wouldn't be
do know it has a
good.
funny smell. It had a really funny smell.
It
Something
did have
about
a funky
Yes.
ozonated.
smell.
It smells
It
very
smells like lightning.
lightning.
Oh,
It has a
I
very
thought,
metallic. So
I was
yes,
ozone
gonna
is
say
metallic.
literally the
metal.
lightning. When lightning strikes, the
Yeah.
what's left is ozone.
That's it. To me, it smelled very metallic. I don't
Hmm.
know what it smells like after lightning strikes because I don't want to
But it
find
smells
out. But
metally. Yeah, it
yeah,
has this like tin smell or
yes.
something.
So I think that kind of threw me off a little bit. I'm like, wait a minute, let me understand this better. And then we kind of, plus it was going to be very expensive and just the whole logistics of getting it ozonated. But yeah, I don't know. It might,
It's
I don't
I
know.
I work with a bunch of ozone companies.
Mm.
Hmm.
So that's why I'm asking. And we're actually, Dr. Mark DiPaolo and myself are trying to brainstorm a form of FMT for horses. Horses'
Mm.
GI tract is 125 feet. So we
Wow.
have to coat it in something to get it to the whole gut lining.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if it just
Hmm.
stops at the stomach, they're hindgut fermenters. And you
Mhm.
can't go in rectally, it won't go that far.
Wow.
So I was thinking maybe we could like saturate it in your coconut oil to keep the time
Interesting.
release.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
So
Wow.
maybe we could think about that, you guys.
Mhm.
If
Yeah.
you want us to send you some coconut oil, we'll send it to you, like a big giant pail. We've got some. We'll send. If you want to experiment with it, we've
Yeah.
got coconut oil.
Seriously.
We can send you. Yeah, we'd be
I'll
happy to send you some.
I'll talk to Dr. Mark and see what he
Yeah.
thinks. Maybe you'll end up sending it to him.
If
We
you'd
have
like
to
to
find
experiment with it.
donors. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know Animal Biome just did a huge fecal test clinical trial with horses. So
Oh,
Sarah Griffin was heading that, and so she'll be a guest here soon and talk about the results of that too.
wow. Interesting.
Cool.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're all the dog and cat holistic health space is so much more advanced than the horse. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'd love to get better products now that you talked about the copra being just disgusting. And now I'm like totally freaked out about it. But yeah, so we
Is it
can
organic? I mean, but again, I use
the
that
one
term
company that I
loosely.
do feed now is organic, but the other one never was. And it always bothered me that you open the bag and it's just like brown meal because I expected it to be a little whiter. And I was like, is it all shell? What's actually in this? But it
Hmm.
just looks like ground up brown fiber. Yeah. Is that normal?
I mean, it depends.
Depends
The
on how
color
they
will
make it.
range.
There's so many
Yeah.
different ways to make it. So
But I mean, I'm sure they're heating it up, but how?
Right.
I
Well,
should take a,
I think it comes from like Taiwan or something. I don't know.
oh,
Like I don't because they feed a lot of it. It's going into a lot of different animal feeds now.
do
And
they have
so it's
coconuts in
coming.
Taiwan? I didn't even know that.
Well, maybe not. You would know better. I
probably
just
Thailand. If
Well,
you
it'll be
think
Thailand,
it
Thailand.
Sri
would be
That's probably
Lanka,
it.
Thailand.
I got
Thailand,
the
Yeah.
Sri
Thai
Lanka,
part.
India. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got the one and you got the land. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably Thailand because
Thailand,
Philippines, Thailand, India, Malaysia are the top
Sri
coconut
Lanka,
producing,
Carmina, Sri
and
Lanka.
Sri Lanka, sorry, the top coconut producing countries of the world. And
Yeah, and
each
I
of
know it
them,
just comes overseas in a big container.
hmm,
Wow.
okay. Huh.
That's scary. It's got to be pretty damaged.
I mean, in all fairness, though, coconut isn't always super white like
No,
everybody thinks. It
no.
will be off shade, off white to, yes, a very pale brown, even, that can
Beijing.
be nor or beigey. Oh, yeah, not brown. So that's
It's brown,
normal.
you guys.
Oh, like brown, brown.
Brown, brown.
Oh, hmm.
It looks like I don't know. It's like wood.
I want what?
Wood brown?
I wonder if
Kind
they
of
have the skin
maybe
of
a
the,
rustier wood color,
I don't
like
know.
Oh,
redwood.
yikes. Okay.
Yeah,
Huh. I mean, maybe they included the inner skin of the coconut. That's called
that's what I was
testa,
thinking.
maybe, of the coconut shell. That's not
Testa. I was
necessarily
thinking of testa.
harmful, but it's
That's what, you
yeah,
notice that in the feed industry is that they use everything, whether it's good for
everything.
them or
Yeah,
not,
Yeah, it'll
because
be all
it
the
cheapens,
byproducts, yeah, of the coconut
it
that
makes
they
it
yeah,
use.
affordable for them. It's a cash cow for them, right?
I
yeah.
wish we could bring you a sack of that
You know
cake.
what? I think we might
Remember,
have sacks in
Carmina?
the office. Sure, I'll send you some.
I'll
Happy
feed my,
guest.
I'll video my horses eating your cake.
Yes, yes, we're gonna hook you up with some real coconut
Kind of coconut
flesh.
chips.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
I mean, yeah,
you'll
we do
you
have like
smell it, you taste it's a world of difference.
Can
it's
I eat it?
different.
Yes,
Yeah, well,
Okay.
we
you
eat
do.
it,
So the dog, the cat, the horses,
and
the
you.
sheep, sheep.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, in the Philippines, chickens, I mean, you name it, they eat it. I mean, I put it in cereal and smoothies because
Okay.
I like the fiber.
Smoothies.
So the taste doesn't bother me. I mean, if you don't like the taste of coconut,
It's a
then
mild coconut. It's
I love the
coconutty.
yeah.
taste of coconut, you guys.
Oh, then you won't
Yeah,
mind it
Yeah.
then.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah. We'll send you a
absolutely.
sack for sure.
yeah.
Elaine's asking MCT or VCO, which one inside, which one outside? Does that make sense? Inside.
You
You outside,
Do,
both. What I would say MCT if you have a really bad yeast problem, inside and outside, if
okay.
it's a yeast issue. If it's like some sort of allergies or gut allergies, I would do the virgin coconut oil because it's very
inside
good
and
for the gut
outside.
inside for virgin. I mean, if you have hot spots and wounds and a cut, I would do virgin coconut oil because it's very high antibacterial. So virgin coconut oil is my first go-to for anything inside and outside. And they'll
Okay.
do MCT oil if the dog is an athlete, it's got fat sensitivity, it's got seizures, it's got yeast. That would be MCT.
What about parasites, you guys?
It would be the coconut chips. There are
Yeah,
The
studies,
fiber.
yes,
yeah.
fiber
Hmm.
for coconut chips.
And
They
then,
actually have studies. They use that in India, a lot of coconut for parasites.
really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, they have
Hmm.
studies on that.
And
But
people were passing I mean, parasites with coconut fiber.
That's the study I read. I mean, I personally haven't done it. I haven't done it with my animals personally, but I have read. Do we have any studies on that, Carissa?
I'll look for it.
Okay.
Yes.
But I have read studies about Dr. Five talks about it all the time about the parasite effect of coconut chips, coconut fiber. Yeah, I feel like he did write about that.
Mhm.
So that's why
Yeah, I would
I
love
feel
to
like it does.
know about that because We have holistic options, but it'd be nice to like soften them because I feel like herbal dewormers are harder than the chemical dewormers.
Oh yeah.
Right.
You
Oh
know,
yeah.
they're pretty
Yeah.
intense.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
come to think of it, Carmina, those farmers in the Philippines that feed the
Yeah.
coconut cakes? Have you ever heard them complain about worms? I mean,
No,
not really.
actually.
Those animals, they do not take them to the vet as often as they do here.
Here,
And that would
they
be
don't give
all those,
them
they don't. They're
they
not
don't give them
using antibiotics.
antibiotics. They don't give them dewormers. They don't give them,
Vaccines.
I mean, vaccines. It's all so natural. It's what they feed them. And yeah, you're right.
Antibiotics for me anyway is a huge no-no. You can ruin the gut really fast with antibiotics. So
Right.
that
Yeah.
to me is a huge no-no. But yeah, I mean, those animals are healthy. You should see some of those pigs, man. They're lean and shiny looking and skinny.
And cows.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You guys have the prettiest animals out there. They're all like ding, and they have beautiful teeth too. That's hilarious. And Elaine, yes, the live will be loaded onto my YouTube channel, which is at Poppy Phillips and Michelle Allen. Oh, they're just talking about where they live.
Oh.
Everybody's having a like come to our place.
Aw.
If it's
Yeah.
sunny, yes, warmer than Illinois, we will consider it. The Carolinas sound very tempting.
You guys, I have a whole new thought process about coconut oil because I was actually really disappointed in it.
Mm.
Other than like going to your booth and eating your cookies, going, wow, this is delicious. Now, I know you have a ghee mixture and you make that for dogs and cats, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And
And people, I use the ghee a
and
Yeah.
lot.
well, I'm allergic to dairy.
Oh.
Like I have a pretty severe reaction to butter.
Ooh.
So I'm
Oh.
I'm
But
nervous about
is it
trying.
the protein though, Poppy?
The
Because
milk
ghee,
solids.
that it's completely stripped. Like it's tested for casein and whey. There is no butter solids. Is it Rita
Protein.
that's yeah, a protein or butter salt, the milk
If
solids.
if I'm gonna try it, I'm gonna try it at home on a weekend.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Good
With a
idea.
and
fresh
ours
roll of toilet paper. But
ours is
yeah.
a mix. It's a blend of it's 50
Coconut
50
oil.
coconut oil and cultured ghee. So it's fermented
What
um
is the benefit
cream.
of that? I've had pet owners ask me about ghee, and I'm like, honestly, I don't know anything about ghee.
Wow, ghee is a huge Ayurvedic medicine, like for
Well,
centuries.
it's rich in
It's
butyric acid.
acid, and it's very good for the gut. Huge gut health. That's why. So there's CLA and butyric acid, and it provides energy for the colon. Sorry, I mean he has. What is it about cats?
Cats and
You're.
Zoom. They
I
love
know. It's like I can't tell
they
you how
love to
many
be in the center of the Zooms.
Yeah.
meetings I've had. He sees my laptop, he comes running. Anyway, so yeah, butyric acid and CLA conjugated linoleic
Linoleic
acid.
acid.
I can't pronounce. Yeah, but it's so good for the gut and
Gut health.
colon cells. It provides energy and it feeds. Butyric acid is actually converts to a short chain fatty acid that feeds bacteria. So it's like
So it's kind of an all-in-one. You're hitting
yes,
so many angles with that. What a brilliant idea.
yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
do have an Ayurvedic practitioner coming on next month. So
Ask them
she's
about
an
ghee.
Ayurvedic vet. So I'll ask her more about that too.
Yeah.
Because I just don't know much about Ayurveda. I do love like amla and neem and triphala. So I do use that in fenugreek, but I don't know like the vata pitta stuff.
Yeah, no, do you
Yeah.
know, and when we were learning about ghee, and we were talking to some of the Indian Ayurvedic practitioners, they've had ghee and used different kinds of ghee in their family for centuries. Do you know they will put ghee in their belly button, topically on their
I
belly
believe
button,
that.
and
I
it
think
helps
the belly
gut?
button is kind of like draws into the body
Yeah.
very well, and
Yeah.
I've used essential oils that way,
Oh,
but
okay.
nobody talks about it
Yeah.
They do that with ghee.
They
Yeah, they
do.
do that with
for a
a
treatment.
ghee. Yeah. I mean,
For
we
gut
don't
and
do
stomach
it,
too.
but yeah,
Well, my
for
dog's
us,
going to be digging in my stomach trying to lick my belly button. So I don't know, just a thought.
That's a little awkward. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
but they do. They swear by it anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you guys, if you want to put ghee in your belly button, let us know what happens.
Please.
Don't let your dog lick it out, though.
Yeah.
That's a whole different program.
This has been so much fun. Thank you for your time. Do you want to answer questions on the group? Do you
Sure.
have
I
a
Sure.
don't see
moment to do that?
questions.
Yeah, you'd have to read them to us because I don't see any questions.
Sh-
Are we supposed to bring the chat up? I mean, I am not.
no, you guys are good. Julie,
Oh,
do you want to say anything? You guys unmute yourselves if you want to ask questions.
My hardest part with doing topical coconut is the girls chase each other around the house and try to lick it off the other one. It's like I've given up.
so cute.
And if I use it, the same thing. Candy goes nuts. If I go to take even my makeup off, she's like all over my face. Like, give me that, give me that.
Right. I noticed that
But
about dogs with any oil, but coconut, I'm sure it would just make them go psycho.
oh, they love
Michelle,
get. I mean, Candy was getting her teeth brushed when she was like, what was she, about 10 weeks old? She loves the coconut oil.
now do
And they
you have
get
a toothpaste, you guys, or do we just use your coconut oil?
I
just coconut.
use
Just
coconut oil.
coconut oil.
Okay.
That, or else I alternate and I put Animalio dog breath in it, or I put Dr. Judy's
Yeah.
dental drops in
Dental
it.
drops. Yep.
So I'll do
And
it
the
all,
coconut oil.
different ways. They get coconut chips every morning. They get with one well, we're rationing Maggie macaroons now. They get one Maggie. Maggie macaroons, when they're in stock, are amazing for stomach. Like Gigi gets acid reflux. She eats one of those. That's it. It goes away if she gets like gurglies or burps or not burps. Well, yeah, she burps too. But
Reflux.
anyway,
So
Yeah.
reflux.
yeah, the reflux, it's amazing for it. Like she'll be in the middle of the night, if she has reflux, I give her a Maggie, it stops it. And she only needs one. And that's why I started the charcuterie boards on Sunday, because if I did that on a Sunday with the goat milk and everything, it kind of reset her belly for the week. Sundays I didn't do it, she would have an acid reflux.
Wow.
So, which is interesting.
That is.
So it really, really works. So now I'm rationing it out. They get a lot of coconut chips. They get Cocoa Charms all the time while I'm eating. If they want a snack, they get that. So, and they get MCT every morning and brush their teeth with the coconut oil and ghee at dinner.
You
We're
know,
very close with the MCT.
because you live in Florida, I feel like that's so appropriate. You know, it's like you live the tropical life inside and out.
Yeah,
That's
There you
exactly.
go.
awesome.
My dog has acid reflux too. Same thing. I mean, I give her the coconut chips because now I can't give her the Maggie's macaroons, but she does get coconut chips in her all her meals because I feel like it does help with her acid reflux.
And the ginger
And
snaps too, Carmina. The
Yeah, the
ginger.
ginger snaps helps
We have
because
the
it's
Yeah,
got
ginger cookie.
ginger.
Hmm.
Yeah.
yeah,
I've
see, I
had those.
stopped with them because Gigi has so few teeth and Candy's
Oh
teeth. You
yeah.
saw what
Yeah.
they, you
They
remember
are
how she
kind of
was trying to
hard.
chew a half a Cocoa Charm. She could barely
Yeah.
do it. Now
Well,
she
she's
can.
tiny.
Yeah. So, but
Charlene, you have comment, right?
Yeah, I could share a testimony about coconut oil.
Cool.
I had a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, and I started giving him coconut oil. And what I noticed is he had some bald patches of hair on his back, and he had some loose teeth. And he was older. He was kind of crotchety and like had a lot of arthritis, sore joints. Just you could see it affecting him. I started giving him the coconut oil just because I heard that there were good benefits for it, and his hair started growing back. His teeth got tighter, and
Wow.
his joints got better. He was more active and excited and bubbly, bouncy. And then on two separate occasions, I had to go out of town for a couple of weeks, and he went to the dog sitter. And I didn't have them give them the coconut oil. I was just making it as easy as possible. I didn't realize all of that had happened because of the coconut oil. When I came back, his bald patches on his back were back. His teeth were loose. He
Wow.
was moving slow, had all kinds of pain from his joints and arthritis again. And it happened both times. So that convinced me that it was the coconut oil. And
Wow.
then, so for all of my dogs, I've just used straight coconut oil out of the jar to brush their teeth. And all of this happened with the crappy oil. Like I didn't realize that I was using crappy coconut oil. I thought I did the
It
right
still
thing.
worked though.
Then, and I got all those benefits. So it makes me like excited and wonder like what even more dramatic results we would see with using your coconut oil. So I'm gonna get some for this little girl. She gets coconut oil in her food every day, and I use it to brush her teeth. I also use it for myself, like as a lotion. So instead of using actual lotion, I'd put it on my legs, and the dogs always lick it off. And then I changed out butter for coconut oil. So when I like cook my scrambled eggs or cook chicken on the pan or anything that would normally use oil, I use coconut oil. I mean, that would normally use any kind of oil or butter. I use coconut oil for everything. I even put it on toast. Like I use it as like
Wow.
for everything on pancakes.
You're a coconut girl. Try the
She's
Coco
going nuts
Ghee.
for coconuts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
We
am.
have to like go, Charlene. That's awesome. You guys remember this from Dr. Judy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I love
cute.
that.
Yep.
Try the Coco Ghee, Charlene. If you love
Okay.
butter and coconut oil, that's unbelievable.
Okay, I'll have to try that. Yeah.
Yeah, the Coco Ghee.
I'm excited to hear about all your stuff. Thank you for sharing all that. I'm so
And
glad you
then
guys are
Coco
here.
Ghee, we were doing at Dr. Judy's with chocolate and with different cookies. What were we
The
putting it
turmeric.
on?
It was
Yeah.
the gold. The
It was
turmeric.
outrageous.
It was dark chocolate. It was unbelievable.
The
Not
Coco
for dogs,
Gold.
but for
It was a
humans. It was
turmeric,
a Coco
yeah.
Gold. It was a turmeric coconut oil
Didn't we
blend.
do both? Whatever
You
it
can
was,
do
it was
both.
good.
You could do whatever, but it's just a good way to get more coconut oil in you. Put a
And
little
ghee and
drop.
turmeric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to mention quickly with Charlene, if you're using a conventional coconut oil and you do switch to Cocotherapy, less is more. You don't have to give as much as you think, or maybe, you know what I mean?
Because it's more,
very,
yeah.
rich. Yeah.
Okay,
it's
that's good.
It's more
Okay, so-
yeah, it's
Yeah,
got more
I found that
MCT.
even just going from butter or regular oil to that, it doesn't need as much, but it's good to know to use even less of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
Janet on Facebook is asking, when is your MCT going to be available? I guess you're sold
Not
out.
soon enough.
So soon. Okay, this is
You
the thing.
guys.
So we have 20 drums that's in the country. It was held up in the LA port for weeks, and we were just calling our customs broker. When are they releasing? And I mean, these are just things that you can't control. Like it's very hard to see. They finally released the barrels. It's in Arizona this week. They will ship it to our bottler this week. They said, okay,
And they're waiting for it just to
they're
bottle
waiting.
it.
Our bottling plant
Wow.
is waiting for the drum, so they should get it this week. Once they bottle, how long does it take them to bottle, Carmina?
I mean, I feel like we should have it in 2 weeks. Honestly, I'm just so
Like
terrified.
okay,
But
if they
I
can
hate
bottle
this.
it end of this week to early next week, then we get it by end of next week. Because there's, the truck, freight, any of that is completely out of our control. So just
What
to
about
get it,
Maggie's?
the Maggie,
that will be end of May,
May.
closer to end of May. Yeah.
the problem with the Maggie's is the bakery that we're now working with had to renew their organic certification because all our treats are certified organic. They have to renew their organic certification before we will even work with them. So there was a backlog with certifying inspections. So that's a whole different thing. And their date kept moving. So as awful as this was, now we have a
So
date
now
for
they have a date for May 14th to have it inspected. Because it's just a reinstatement, they are going to, I'm sure they're going to pass because they're familiar with it. Then right after that, they should
start working
make
on
them. So I'm thinking after May 14th, definitely, that's why I'm saying end of May, we should get the macaroons back.
Cool.
Okay,
You
good.
guys,
Yay.
I love how busy you are. I think that's such an awesome testament to how great your product is. That you can't
Thank
keep
you.
it in stock. Elaine's saying she actually roasts pecans in your product.
Oh, wow,
Oh,
yum.
I know. It sounds so good.
I'm
Yum,
getting
that
hungry
sounds
here.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah, and don't forget about besides Cocotherapy and all the coconut, they have Oscar Newman as well. They have the cutest dog clothes. They're all hand sewn with Swarovski and beads. They got the tiny little, where Candy
And
probably
your
has
girls are
80
the
of them.
models. Gets her little ones a
And then we
model.
have all these tiny, let's see, I can't believe it. I
Julie's
have,
like ready to model. Strike a
here
pose.
we go. We have all these cute little pipsqueaks. Candy has
Oh,
one of everything.
Because,
And I
we
give
don't
them
have
out to
enough
everybody.
things to do. We want to design clothes for little dogs too. We're just
And if you
insane.
have a
little
little
dog
dog,
boutique.
their toys for little dogs are amazing.
That's
All
so
Candy
cute.
Aw.
I didn't
sisters have
realize
them. The
that.
breeder has them.
That's
Here,
awesome.
let me go grab some while you guys chat. I'll go grab some.
Oh my gosh.
People are like, all
You
right,
guys,
goodbye.
you do a lot of little things, it sounds like. I actually had no idea. That's amazing. And the people in the chat have really enjoyed this. Thank you
Oh,
so
I'm
much for
glad. Thank you
being
so
here.
much for having us, Poppy. We really
And thank you
appreciate
for,
it.
yeah, and thanks to everybody in the chat for hanging out with us. I know it's kind of late,